Hey everybody, welcome back. Tonight we have Texmerquise with us. It's going to be great. I haven't done this in a while, so bear with me. Jess is here to supervise me and tell me if I pass or fail after this.
He's
He
failing
said
right now.
failing.
He's failing right now.
Epic fail.
Yep.
Yeah, epic. What do you say? There was a W or an L?
No, you have to take the L.
Ooh,
Ooh, I gotta take the L. not the
it's
W.
take the L.
Yeah,
Take
he's
the L,
taking the L
okay.
right now.
All right. Well, joke's on him. My resignation letter is already typed up after this. I'm just gonna hand it to him. So
All right, awesome.
Saved as draft, send.
It's gonna happen. You gotta get more energy. You be like, hey guys, welcome back to the GTS. GTS live show. It is weird. Gunpla talk show live show. That's why we're trying to get away from the Gunpla talk show. What I was talking to Tex a little bit about.
it's a bit of a mouthful.
Well, hence the acronym, right? GTS. We're just GTS. That's all it is.
GTS live.
GTS
Yeah.
live.
You done
Yeah, you know what? You're right. She's right. It is GTS live. Anyway, guys, welcome back
Don
to
Draper, give me a call. I'm ready.
welcome back to GTS live here this Friday with Tex. We are gonna have a great one, just like Kevin said. He will be helming this interview, like we've done before with Sean doing his, and now Kevin. We do want to apologize again for canceling the one for last week. Sean and I have been really busy with moving, as you guys can see in my background. Everything is ready to be taken to the new place, and it will be done soon. But regardless, we have a really special show for you guys tonight, and I'm going to let Kevin and Tex take it away, and I'll just be sitting here just chiming in every once in a while to make fun of the boomer over here, Kevin. That's about it.
Boomer, no, Derek. We make fun
You're
of
living
Derek.
the dream, Jess. Damn.
We talked about this last night as we made fun of Derek.
Yeah.
Not Kevin. Always Derek.
Yeah.
He can't do anything. He can't do anything.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So no. Today's gonna be a great show because we don't really talk about too much, and Tex is a great individual to talk to about all of this. It's community and what Gunpla family is, and with Tex herself, she's really involved with a lot of community work, and it's just awesome to see some of the stuff that she's done. Guys, shh. Sorry, dogs.
The babies are talking. They want to be on air.
They
They playing.
They are
they
on
play
there.
right now.
They're fighting.
Oh.
They're just kind of chilling. They're like, what up?
So if you want Tex, you can bring yours, and they can have a virtual fight because that's everything done.
Absolutely. Oh, well, I'd have to get up. That's a different problem entirely. But
No, these two will always stay here. They don't go anywhere.
you
They'll
have
follow
good
you
dogs.
right- If you're
I
taking a
don't.
shower, they're waiting right outside that door for you, inside the washroom.
Oh, God.
It's
Mine will
hilarious.
get up with me as I wake up to go to the morning bathroom. I'm just like, yo, can you just sleep in? Just give me. I just need 20 seconds to myself.
Yeah, that's how pets are. And then if you eventually want to have kids, it'll be the same. I don't have kids, thankfully, but I'm the oldest of 5, so I know how it is. They won't leave you alone. So I could see it with dogs, with my cat. It happens. It happens. But...
You're the oldest of. Oh, you got me beat. I'm the oldest of 4, but we're all girls.
Oh,
So
really?
It's a different level of vicious in this house.
No. I'm sure. I'm the oldest of 5, and of course I'm a guy. But all my siblings, I'm there's a joke. Even my wife jokes about it. When I go to their place, when I go to my mom's house in Mexico, my siblings treat me like a king. It's the best. It's I always tell my siblings, as much as I love them, the only reason my parents had you is so I could have slaves. That's the way it works. And so that's the way it is. It's awesome being the oldest of 5.
No, it's not so much the same boat here. For as awful as I am verbally, they have mastered the same craft. So it's a lot of on your toes at all times.
Oh God! No.
Here. It is cutthroat down here.
Oh, God. But hey, at least you have your little dogs too, right? Speaking of your dogs,
Yes.
where are they?
Unfortunately, they're not here in this room currently. They are running amok in the rest of the house. There is a minor family thing going on tomorrow, so they are in everybody's way, and I opted to not bring them here right now because it would just be too much. But they are adorable, and they get along great with other people sometimes.
That's good. That's always good, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, even with maple and syrup, they they love people in general, and
Yeah.
which is really cool because how hyper they are and how crazy they get with adults. Once there's a kid in play, they know just automatically just to be nice and calm.
Yeah, no, mine are the same way.
Yeah.
Hermes, especially, granted, both of my dogs were introduced to herding early on as like a physical activity, just something to let out their energy because, obviously a walk wasn't doing enough. But Hermes picked up on it much better than Nike did. So for a while, for a couple of years, we were doing herding trials and competitions, and
Oh wow.
that just became very ingrained. So anytime there was a kid or a smaller animal, like his natural instinct was to round it up, make sure that they're staying within certain boundaries, and it translated very well. And on top of that, it really it deepened that kind of that bond that you have with your pet or animal, and even more so because it's a job that they feel like they're fulfilling or a task, and they enjoy it. Also because you're a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. It was good. It was
Yeah.
good training.
Yeah. Well,
And the good thing about corgis is they are so smart. They learn
Too smart. They're too smart.
smart to the point where they become your alarm clock. They know exactly when to wake you up.
Oh yeah, no. Nike comes up like just before the alarm goes off at like 6:30. If I decide to sleep in 7, and she comes up from her bed at the foot, comes in right here, like upper or lower back. I was like, I love this extra heat, but the alarm's about to go off, so I'm just like mentally getting ready at that point.
Mm-hmm. With Maple, if I'm not up, she literally just lays her entire body across my face. And
Oh, she's a cat. Oh.
Ridiculous. And then Syrup, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and all 4 paws will be against my back like he's trying to spoon me.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's just like, you have a whole bed. Why do you need my little part
I
here?
spent all this money on this memory foam bed. Why are you doing this to me?
Right, and I'm buying a king bed soon too.
Oh, big baller.
I got a crazy deal on it. I could not afford to say no. I just could not afford to say no for that. For the price I'm getting for it, it's just ridiculous.
We're out here slumming with a queen, but okay, fine.
Hey, I'm slumming it with the queen too, and I'm married. Okay, so
I'm single.
That's because your wife is a queen, sir. Excuse you.
I sleep on the floor. Kevin can vouch for this. I sleep on the floor. If my wife was here, she'd be like, "Yeah, he sleeps on the fucking floor." It's like, fuck that guy.
He knows his place.
Their cat sleeps on the bed. He gets the floor.
True. But speaking of Nike and Hermes, we have some pictures here of them. So these are the culprits, the little rascals, Nike and Hermes. So why corgis, Tex?
Because I'm a giant weeb at heart, and I always wanted a corgi. So at some point, a friend of mine was like, "Yo, look at this picture of this dog that we saw. Do you want?" I'm like, "Of course I do. Yes, and absolutely love it first sight, bark, whatever you want to call it." All of a sudden, my chicken tenders were her chicken tenders. It was before I even met her.
Yeah.
My mom still jokes about it. She goes, "Do you remember that you said she smelled like rainbows?" Like, I had no other description. I was lost for words. Just a little puppy. She smelled so good. Was adorable. Could not help it. And then I ended up with 2. And I have a lot of gray hairs now. So.
Now, what surprises me is the weave part. I mean, not because you're obviously a weeb, like you said, but is it because of Cowboy Bebop?
Oh, girl. Anybody that wants a corgi, it's because of Cowboy Bebop.
Okay,
Get
good.
out of here.
Good, because that just makes you so much cooler, too, because Cowboy Bebop is best anime. So, with that.
It is. I'm very curious about the Netflix.
I am, too. You saw they just finished wrapping up production for it. Yeah, because what's his name broke his leg in the middle of it. And then my personal big concern was because when they released the teaser trailer, they didn't have any music to go along with it. So in the back of my mind, I'm just like, they don't have the rights yet for Yoko Ono's music. And then I was reading along today, but recently when they were talking about, they got the rights, or they got production finalized recently, and now she's on board. So I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Okay, yeah.
Ready. The music makes the whole show. I love it.
Well, yeah. I think it's definitely one of the best shows, and it holds up to this day with voice acting and everything. And it's still a classic. I feel like if you're like an anime fan, I just feel like you can't. It's one of those that you have to watch.
It is. It's so iconic.
It's a must.
Right?
It's
a
Yeah,
must.
yeah.
It's a must.
Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't. Definitely something that we can talk about some other time because I can just go on and on about Cowboy Bebop. But yeah, Nike and Hermes are cute. And of course, it's because of Cowboy Bebop I called it. Look at them sleeping underneath your table with all your kits. How are they with the plastic parts? Do they like to play with the runners and stuff after you cut them or something?
No, they don't. They know the second I'm in this room that they are dead to me. It's just they're like, we'll hang out for a little bit, make ourselves comfortable, and I've done my best to make sure that they're comfortable when they are in this realm.
Yeah.
But at that point, I'm very lucky that they don't go after pieces when I lose them or they fall on the floor or anything like that. But
Yeah.
at some point, they know, like, oh, Mama's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's different.
They know. Like even with my two, they just know automatically. The first time they were in my Gundam room and we started building, I dropped the piece, won't even touch it. Doesn't even try to go up and sniff it.
Yeah.
And just go on.
No, I was gonna say it's all about training, right? I mean, with any animal, right? Because like even with like my cat, if I drop something, she won't go for it unless it's Sean's, because she hates Sean. I think my cat literally hates Sean. We had to put her at a friend's house for 2 weeks, so we should be getting her back on Monday because of the move. And like I went over this weekend to bring some more like a cat litter and stuff, and they're like, oh, she's the most calm cat ever, and she's like super well educated and polite. But like when she's with Sean, she just hates him and just knocks his shit over. So I think she just hates him. But yeah, it's all about
Because
training.
she knows he might be a wink link. That's why. He's just,
You know what? I didn't think about it like this. It might be true. I'll have to talk to him about that later on.
Like my dog can fish out who is most likely to give them food if we're all sitting at the table. So maybe it's kind of the same vibe thing.
Maybe. We'll have to see.
Definitely. So next up, I'm super jealous. I'll say it to anybody that I see them standing in front of this specific image, the Gundam base. I will get there eventually. I'll definitely get there. Yeah, so how was everything there? How was seeing Jess's favorite favorite mobile suit up front?
No.
How was it?
No. Fuck the
Well, it's a mythical creature to start with. There should only be one of it, but it was great. If you're obviously a fan of Gundam, getting to Gundam base is the pilgrimage that you want to make, obviously.
Yeah.
And especially in Tokyo, despite what may pop up now than later, this is a trip you have to make, want to make. It's the base for everything. And even for as much grief as I give Unicorn as a suit, still just coming around and seeing it 1-to-1, it's a great, no words. There's just, as a fan, you appreciate it so much.
Of course, yeah. I mean,
Were you there during the day and night time then, or just the night?
I came in as the sun was setting because, for me personally, I wanted to see a night show because I knew that the unicorn that was up there had a night light show that was a lot better to see in the evening, especially because it lights up, has the destroy mode and everything. So that was my goal. I do wish, now that I had been there, that I had gone while the RX 78 was still up, because I am still a UC fan in my heart, and it was just been a lot more sentimental if I had seen it, but not to take away from the experience that I had.
no.
I need to go to China to see the Freedom.
The Freedom, you saw they got the waist up, like it's got the leg and the waist already.
We're building it so fast.
It's because they figured it out by now. They've done 2 of these already, and one that moves. They better figure out how to get the Freedom out.
If China can build a hotel in like 5 days, they should be able to do pretty well with this.
Oh no, shit! A bunch of the buildings in Dubai have gone up in a fraction of time that you think they should.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think this thing that no one is climbing into should be okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%.
No, next one definitely has to be the moving Gundam that they just finished.
The Yokohama RX.
I have to get there before next March, because they're putting it away next March.
Why?
They're actually they're gonna make it legit, and they're gonna fly it across the world and land on the White House.
Nice. It'd be really cool. I'd pay to see that. Honestly, I can't wait. I mean, even like the unicorn being such a lame kit nowadays because it's literally Bandai keeps milking it. I agree with you, Tex. Like, you cannot. It doesn't take away from the experience. I'm sure. Even being able to see it as a Gunpla fan, right? Like that feeling of like, whoa. And I'm so glad you said that word. And it's such an awesome word to use, pilgrimage. I think that's like kind of. I'm gonna steal that now and just be like, yeah, we have to make the pilgrimage to Tokyo, and just check Gundam base because. Regardless, I do agree with the RX-78 too. Like, I wish it was still there because the RX-78 too, as much as because I know, I don't think Kevin mentioned this, but Kevin hates the RX-78 too. I don't think he's ever told you. He does hate the RX-78 too
because there's so many variants, kind of like Jess with the
Honey,
unicorn.
have you seen the unicorn?
Yeah, like. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I understand. I get it. It's because they're very iconic silhouettes and suits. Like if it was blacked out completely, you would know which one the RX-78 was. You would know which one the unicorn was. It is correct. It's a thing.
Yeah.
But I will never say that I hate anything more than Zaku's. I do not like Zaku's.
Just watch Tex just leave right now, dude. You're
Agent, I get on this show.
No, Kevin is weird.
Are you a Fetty fan? Is that what it is? That what you're saying?
No, I don't like how round. I don't like how round the suit is. I don't like those round images on.
So do you like old Volvos?
No, not really.
Oh, they're very square. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll crack this code at some point. Okay.
I was never a big Volvo fan though, but yeah, no, it's just because how rounded they are. Like,
it's the more organic. I don't want to say organic.
But no, you're right. It kind of is. Right? It
doesn't seem mechanical, naturally enough. Okay.
Yeah. That's literally the reason.
Don't listen to him, Tex.
Luna Maria, I love it. I'm totally okay with her kit. Yizax in Destiny, okay with it. It's because it's not so rounded. The only rounded kit that
I'm seeing where you're leaning on like the timeline and how it correlates the suit you like. So we'll just put a pin in that and come back to it.
Yeah. Because this guy, he hates everything that's cool. Because Zaku's are awesome. All right, they're iconic and they're as iconic as the RX-78 too. I will disagree though on you, Texas, that I don't feel. I mean, yes, I do understand that the silhouette is very, it's in itself like the unicorn. I just don't understand why Bandai has this like need to make it its poster child. And I understand the RX-78 too having so many variants because it's literally the original, right? Like it's fine, but the RX-78 too doesn't seem to me at all like. I mean, sorry, the unicorn doesn't seem to me at all like something amazing. That is too overpowered, and it's just. I don't know.
Well, it's also a different generation. You gotta understand that at some point that there is a new life, new blood being breathed in to this, and their association with it is either IBO or the unicorn. And unicorn is part of that whole predecessor, or that still involved in the UC storyline, which alludes to the RX-78. It all ties in together.
Yeah.
But it's a landmark. Is one way to put it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But we won't be giving the unicorn any more airtime. Let's talk a little bit about the kits that you saw in the. Yeah, because it was burning my screen. All right. So we have here. It says we. We are Gundam.
We are Gundam.
I remember seeing this because it's coming out of their heads, right? This is GBWC.
It was GWC in 2018. So this was when Paint Pusher's entry. I realize now I should have put up a couple more pictures, but one of my most favorite pieces ever. It's got these two figurines that are very resemblant of Rambaral and his homegirl, and they are painting up and working on kits in their little workspace with a photo booth and a backlog on the shelf and everything. And this is the image of what they are painting and how they're interacting, coming out of their imagination in their head. Man does not own a airbrush. He painted all of this by hand.
Oh wow!
So
Yeah, that changes everything.
This is the same year our boy Ryan Lau won
Yep. Ryan
in
Lau.
Canada.
Yeah. No, this We Are Gundam thing. This is amazing because to me, I mean, that's basically what I feel Gundam is. Like, I'm a big advocate of do whatever you want to Gundam. There is no strict
wrong.
way that you need to do things. And even just like this is why I love Gunpla, because whenever I'm working on my kits, I like to imagine that they exist in real life and what they kicking ass and destroying other mechs. It'd be awesome.
He has an actual whole line like this where it's a whole We Are Gundam line, and it's translating real life experiences or moments into um, parts within the Gundam universe that kind of resemble it. And one of my favorites is it's this father carrying two children, like they're picking up, like he's picking up and carrying them off to bed, but it's represented in the background, much like in this piece, where it's the white base taking care of all of the crew inside. And I mean, as much as I love this, as much as I love this piece, that one speaks a lot more to me and really hits home.
Yeah.
Just it's that whole message that he has throughout this entire line of We Are Gundam
That's
figures.
so awesome. Definitely will.
So, sorry, go on.
No, Kevin, go on.
I was gonna say, where was this displayed?
And
At Gundam Base in Tokyo.
yeah.
This piece specifically, this was his entry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely an awesome piece. Definitely something to look at. And then on this next one, we have are these the molds for the original?
Yes, so they have a display with Gundam Base with a couple of the molds, injection molds that they have, kind of illustrate how the process is, or at least the tools for what they use for when they are making all the kits that we know and love so dear.
Yeah.
It's crazy with the amount of steel, I guess, they have to make for these molds when it's just such a small piece that comes out of it, right?
Yeah, but think of how many they're making.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Injection molding is a much more expensive form of plastic molding. I work with plastic and roto molding is very popular.
Yeah.
But injection molding is expensive, and if you compare it to, say, casting resin, you can only get so many good casts out of a certain or prints casts out of a certain kit or cast. With the metal, it's consistent and you're not losing much quality. You can mass produce almost as many as you want, hence why these are in metal casts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's really, really cool to see that.
Man, I'm so jealous because you got to see all this stuff. And I mean, I didn't know much about this hobby until last year in the beginning, like November 2019. Being able to see all these things that this community has and like all the events they have, and like even this picture of you looking at the trophy. I see Canada there. Was Ryan Lau's thing there or something?
I cannot remember specifically. I took a lot of photos that evening.
Yeah.
But that was just that specific window was a first place gold trophy, being like, oh, look on the future. This could be you. So it was a really good reflection moment. But they had all of the display pieces there at Gundam Base for every representative.
Yeah. So awesome.
I think 2018. I may be wrong. 2018 or 2017 was the first year GBWC gave Canada their own category
where it wasn't marketed as North America. Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick.
Ryan.
I know that the Canada display piece was not there because they all have their own individual 50 by 50 by 50 booths. I think if I remember right, that was just a display of every country that was eligible or had participated at that time.
Oh, okay. And then the picture next to that's really cool. The Tower of Runners.
Yeah.
It's a Tower of Runners, I believe, for the RX 78.
Yeah.
It's just this giant cylinder that is constantly rotating. And it was, I wish I had sent you guys the video, but it's just cool.
Yeah.
To see it just turning around, and it's relatable. It's a piece of moving art that you can relate to. You deal with this every day. It's been thought out. They've planned it out.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Now,
It's like I said, a pilgrimage. It's fun to go see and recognize, and also spend a little money. So.
yeah, of course. I mean, you
Now,
can't just go there with no money, right?
you go in there with
You
money?
can go there with no money, and you will leave with less money. I promise you. Honestly, I spent less money than I thought I would there. So.
There you go. See?
But is it overpriced at the Gundam
Oh,
base?
honey, no, it's very fair. Unless you want to go buy like strict G clothing, then it's.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Now, we could sit here and we could talk about every single picture that we have, but I guess the main question is, what would you consider? How would you rate your experience going to Gundam Base? Like, is this something that you would recommend to everybody, or even just like a hardcore fan, or just not a fan, or like how would you?
15 out of 10, like easily at bare minimum. It's obviously a fun experience to walk through, see everything,
Yeah.
but there's also all the shopping that you can do, and you get to see all of these transformation shows outside. You have the Gundam Cafe that's also attached. You can get all these exclusives from plates to cups. It's a lot of fun. I know that we were joking about calling it a pilgrimage, but it is. It's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the pinnacle, right?
I think if anything, something else that might, kind of go to that level of awesomeness when it comes to Gunpla would be going to the factory itself, right? Which I've heard you have to book like a year in advance or whatever in order to get in, right? To actually see where all these things come from, right?
Yeah, something like that. If you've got it's comparable to if you have a favorite chef where you're going to go with their restaurant. And if you have to make the reservation ahead of time, then so be it.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something that has to happen. And it's so cool that you got to do all these things and you got to experience all of this stuff. Honestly, super jealous. I hope one day that we get to go. Are you planning on going anytime soon?
Yes. Obviously, I was planning to go 2020 in the winter, just before shit hit the fan with the pandemic and all.
Yeah.
But I have said to many of my friends, like, the first thing I want to do, I need to go back. I have to, and just spend more time there
and more money
and spend more money. Yeah. Now that I've spent enough time at home doing all my homework and realizing where I should have spent money, that's where I want to go.
Okay, there it is. It kind of nice reflection, nice self-reflective stuff.
Definitely. So the next thing coming up here is what we wanted to talk to you about the most is the community and how well you've done with everything you have with everyone going on. With the community itself, when you go through this, this is so cool. Just this first image here right now, you just see the pile of people just in there, just getting ready to go with everything you guys are doing. It's crazy. Like, even for us, like we wish one day we at one of our events we'll have a conference hall filled.
You can absolutely do it. It's not hard. You just gotta have a good team with you of people that are ready and willing to support and help make it happen.
So what was this event specifically? The one we're looking at. This is those Gundam guys.
So those Gundam guys where I'm sitting at the table on the computer. That one.
Yeah.
So that was at a convention in Phoenix, Arizona, Sabotin Con, where we were hanging out with the Arizona Gundam Gunpla builders there. They have their own club, and we came in and we were just hanging out, talking shit, obviously. But they had their own mini contests going on, and they had been to those Gundam guys shows before. We're just hanging out, talking Gundam, talking modeling, talking about contests, talking about community building, just fun.
It's fun. And I guess my question is, and this one is, with all of this happening and all the people that you met, would you consider the community an integral part for the hobby?
Well, yes. Yeah.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say like 99.9.
Yeah, because so like obviously our the people who watch, they already know that the day before we do the show, we always talk to the guest and all that stuff. And like yesterday, we were mentioning like it's definitely not a one-man thing, right? It's like there's definitely that sense of companionship and being able to throw ideas around and talk to people and all the people that you probably have met, right? Because I'm sure you have met a lot of people that you now consider extremely close friends.
Absolutely. I would say a lot of my closest friends that I have now, I would not have them in my life or be able to claim that they are some of my closest friends without this connection or the common denominator of Gunpla or scale modeling. Yes.
Now, can you explain to me what smells like bleach inside means in this screen that we have here?
I would love to not.
What is it?
So in this instance, there was a 21 plus panel that those Gundam guys were proctoring for Gunpla specifically. So usually at Anime Expo here in LA, up in LA, I don't live in LA. They will have 2 panels that we will sign up for. It'll be a all ages panel during the day and a very fun, it was either 18 or 21 plus later in the evening, where you get to make lewd jokes and talk about these Tengen toy kits that exist, and you cannot explain why, but they are now a part of your life and you cannot deny it. So
that's the session Sean wants to do, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sean wanted to do that session before.
Oh, it's during COVID, so good luck on getting that bleach and/or isopropyl. Congratulations. It's a handicap right there.
We'll definitely let him take the helm of that in our future events for sure.
So what would you consider? Would you say that the all ages one is the best, or would you recommend the other one?
And really only a test for the all ages one, or not the all ages. Sorry, the 21 plus one, the 18 plus one, the adult one,
Rated
because
R,
mainly because most times at those conventions I am working, so I cannot usually make the middle of the day panels.
I see.
But they are fun and they are packed, and it's a good time. Like as much fun and jokes as we make, people do have serious questions, and the fun part is that everybody kind of feeds off each other. Even with this banter, they know that we're making these jokes, but they're still here for a reason, and it is to learn a little more.
So then within the community of organizing all these events, what do you really specialize with?
I specialize primarily in children's workshops. As funny as that is, after talking about these 21 plus events and Tengen toy jokes.
Yeah.
But
it goes back to the kids and
it all comes back to the kids eventually. But I did not find that calling until later. I very much enjoy doing children's workshops and leading in these workshops, very hands-on demonstrations. Of course, it was pre-COVID, and I've found ways to adapt, but that's kind of my specialty, as it were.
Well, working with children is always cool, right? I mean, even just implementing and kind of giving them the hobby and tools, just teaching them what it is, right? Because nowadays, and I'm not gonna bash on video games, because I love video games. I mean, I can't live without them. But even just showing them, hey, here's another kind of thing that you could do to spend your time, and you'll probably enjoy it, especially when kids like Pokemon and Bandai makes awesome tiny Pokemon kits and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's completely relatable to things they're already interested in. That was half the appeal of Build Divers. Now they've built this entire show around making these model kits, and it's targeted towards a younger audience.
Yeah.
So now you've got these younger kids be like, oh, how can I do this?
Yeah.
With this real life thing that exists in my show.
Yeah.
And it's not uncommon. It's just maybe from an earlier time where we would see these arts and crafts or projects that were maybe presented on Sesame Street or Barney that we want to replicate in real life as children. Now it's much more direct, much more accessible with the topic and the medium at hand.
Of course.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, yeah.
And I think it also stems from like good education and teaching children what it means to take care of projects like this, right? Because I can go back in my childhood, and I used to be, and I still am, a very big Lego fan. Granted, nowadays they're like super expensive, right? Because I started with Bionicles, right? And then I moved on to like model kits of like Legos of cars, and I wasn't the kid who would just break them and then do all this stuff. I had them all displayed and nicely, and I knew what it was to take care of your craftsmanship with whatever you did. And even just giving them that in the beginning is something that is that should be done more, I feel. Just kind of like teaching people how to
you can integrate a lot of responsibility, or instill a lot of responsibilities into that. Yes, as far as STEM goes, as far as taking care of your workspace and your tools, so you don't break your little god hand nippers if you sneeze the wrong way or drop them on the floor. But yeah,
yeah. I mean, they're god hand nippers for kids, right? Nowadays, like there's this whole lineup for tools for children nowadays.
there are, and there's a kit that I don't have it here on hand, but that I've specifically sought out to use in the workshops that I was directing, where they are meant for smaller hands, children specifically, where it's called like Baby's First Tool Set or Baby Nippers, where it's just everything's smaller, introductory, so that at the end of the day they can still feel like that they're building just like the people that they watch on YouTube or on Twitch, or in their show.
100%. Definitely, because even like, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much about the community because I'm very passionate about the community.
God forbid you do that.
Yeah, God forbid I speak of how much I love the community, because I was reading on Reddit. I swear to God, it was yesterday night. I was falling asleep, and I'm a huge Reddit guy, so I'm always on Reddit. There was this question. Somebody was like, how the hell can I make friends as an adult? And the top voted answer, like in the comments, was hobbies. And it's so true.
It's so true. Very true.
It is. If you like micro beers, you go to microbrewery. If you like building Gundams or scale model kits, you go to a build night. That's it. And that's what Clem and those Gundam guys, Angel, Brandon, and everybody there, they have established this long before I ever came on.
Yeah.
And thank God I found them. But they've been hosting build nights for over a decade up in the OC, Orange County area, at least out here in California, where they have a collective audience where it can come, hang out, just open door, or it was an open door policy pre-COVID, and just hang out, work on model kits, get tips from more seasoned and experienced builders.
Yeah.
You want to try something new, you bought a new kit, you don't know where to buy this kit, you're very interested in something, you don't know how to approach it. It's a great resource, and it helps you connect to other people in the hobby, and as a result, make more friends than you wish you had to start with.
Yeah.
It's great. Sometimes.
That is for sure. Like with Jess and myself and Sean, Derek, Alina, we've been saying for a long time now, we cannot wait till we can start doing this again. Because for us, we don't do it at someone's house. We don't have the room. A lot of us don't own our own place, and it's all rented, so the space is even smaller, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have one of the shops that we go to quite often, and they offered the space to us after hours.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Everybody. And when everything first started, it was small. But right before COVID blew up, we've had times where we got 20 plus people just come to the store and build. We've met new people. Parents started taking their kids there to learn to build and have fun with us, and we just hang out with them, teach them.
We've had parents bring their children before. It's like I said, it's a good way to connect, and also especially with the children's workshops, for parents to ask questions and kind of understand a little more what the hell is it that my kid is into, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's
that's like, really cool. So for us, we definitely cannot wait to do that again. We were actually hoping we could by the end of this month, because last Monday we were supposed to find out if we were moving to phase 3 for this whole pandemic. And
oh my god, you guys are still doing phases? We've like shifted to colored tiers now. I'm not sure what they're following anymore.
Oh,
people.
Yeah, we're in phase 2 still. So outdoor, you get max 10 people outdoor, no indoor. But phase 3, we would have been able to have people indoor, which would have been great. But because of different variants now, we were doing well. Mm-hmm. But because of the different variants that kind of popped up, we're kind of still stuck in phase 2. So we're all still kind of going crazy. We've done a few build nights just through Discord, through our CGC channel, and just met up with whoever wanted to and just bullshit and talk and build. So that was good.
Yeah.
For me, I never build. You can ask Jess. I never ever bring a kit to one of these community events.
Well, you just fucking
Oh,
eat.
I've brought kits, but I already like in the back of my mind realized I'm not gonna touch this. I'm not gonna build it.
No.
I'm just gonna hang out. Yeah.
Yep. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because one, I'm afraid to drop a piece. We all know you're gonna drop a piece into that black hole on the ground, especially where we go. It's a gray floor, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you won't see anything. It's gray.
It's like gray black. Like literally every fucking color just like devolves into one. So you drop a piece and it's gone unless you have like 20 people with flashlights looking for
Oh,
it.
I've been there. One of my best friends, he dropped a piece twice in the same build night, and I'm just like, yo, no one's helping you after this.
Yeah.
No. 3 strikes and you're out, buddy. We're done. We're tired. It's a thruster. I'll get you a new one. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's gone. Just to say it's gone. Now, how with you being specialized in with the children's section and inside of that, how do you approach this hobby with a younger with a younger audience?
A lot of it is more just direction and following something through and knowing how to follow directions that are laid out in the kit. So, for example, we'll use a Haro kit, and it's just learning how to read it, how to use the tool, how to finish a project from start, or how to go through a project from start to finish, following directions, and building like dexterity and kind of relating it to puzzle solving. So, figuring out ways that these pieces fit together. So, I can say basic skills, but it's that would be doing them in wrong, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
These are building blocks for them in learning how to process information and how to problem solve. So that's the way that I look at it. And also, it's a creative outlet. They get very excited about building something and creating something. So even though it may seem very mechanical and very structured, scientific at the start, for them, it's an expression of creativity.
Yeah.
And they see it as creating something. So
yeah.
It's a little bit of science. It's a little bit of creativity and art.
Yeah.
For children.
Definitely, kind of appealing to both sides of the brain, right?
Yes.
Speaking of build nights, we have this build night pictures of you just sitting there at a table with a bunch of guys, and then on the other side, more people, which is just the beauty of this hobby. Like, even looking at this makes me feel a little giddy and sad at the same time because I miss doing this. I miss doing this so much. Just
no, we talk about it in our in the Gundam guys group chat. Like, worst case scenario, all of our plans that we think of now, at least we'll get to hang out with each other.
Yeah.
All things considered. But that camaraderie and spirit and just hanging out and bullshitting, we do miss that.
Jess, does your new place have the room to put tables out?
No. The thing is, in my house, before the whole COVID thing got really hard, the core group of the CGC would come over here and meet up because I had the room. And I say that I had because I won't have the room after this weekend because I'm moving out. But, man, it's...
Oh, no.
Man, just looking at all these pictures. And then on this picture, this group picture, I can see True Gunpla in there. What can you tell us about all these people? Not every single one of them, but what can you tell us about them? How do you feel?
There we go. Okay. I saw your little red blip.
Yeah.
So that was from SCGMC 2019 in November. So just before shit hit the fan. So this was a group picture of all of the staff from those Gundam guys, TGG, and guest judges that came in, including Joel, True Gunpla. And it was just a lot of fun. Joel was conducting a panel at the show. A lot of them stepped in to help judge, or it was their first time judging a competition. They wanted to know a little more how we grade on a scale. And it also helps because a lot of us are very involved with our local IPMS chapters, International Plastic Model Society. That those are my dogs. That are probably not as they don't have as much experience working with Gunpla Gundam specifically kits. It's a budding field for what some would call a dying hobby. Even though I digress, but
yeah.
it's a good learning experience coming in to SCGMC and taking up a judging or a guest judge role, kind of just figuring out things to look for, and because it's so close to IPMS skill, being able to relate it and explain it to them, and then take it back home with you, and hopefully help out your own individual chapter for skill modeling.
Of course, man. No,
This is very off topic. I just wanted to say, do you have an image in the back of your behind you? I want to say, is that the Epion? No,
I do.
that's from Chasing Artwork, isn't it?
It is Chasing Artworks Epion.
Justin's artwork.
So Chasing Artwork does a lot of like fractal vector arts, and the Epion is one of my favorite suits. It's part of my namesake, Texmerquise, so thus the Epion is one of my favorite suits.
Yeah.
And I love his work. He did a whole wing set. The last time he was down here for Comic-Con, when we had a Comic-Con, he had this very beautiful, long, holographic Wing Zero, which was gorgeous.
Yeah.
But, yes, that is the Epion. Like I said, one of my favorite suits. It's the MG that I've had in my backlog for a while, and even to this day, I still do not have the balls to, like, do it.
Why?
I love it so much. I don't want to do it wrong, man.
You don't. No, that's.
I don't want to do it wrong.
Well, don't tell anybody. But Chasing Artwork's gonna be on the show this April. So literally.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, we reached out to him.
Yeah, he's gonna be on the show. Yeah, he'll be on the show.
He did a commission piece for me a couple years back.
Yep. He's gonna be on the show.
I need a minute. Okay.
Starts crying. Like, no. That'll be fun. It'll be fun. It's nice to see, again, Gunpla in itself with the community and the whole topic of it. The way that it's connected and the way that we can like even just point that out and be like, oh, that's Chasing Artwork right there. Oh, like this is the Epion, or like you guys were talking about that kit that I forgot its name, the white kit that you have there with the curbs and stuff.
Oh, the Quibbly.
Really?
Yeah, like you guys can talk about all this stuff, and like it's the thing about it. I feel what for me the psychological part, or maybe not psychological, but maybe the community part of it is basically a lot of people have a hard time talking to other people because they can't find something to connect with. But then you give us
Gunpla Gundam is the whole common denominator.
Exactly. And then, like you're talking about Gunpla, and you mentioned somebody says something like, I hate Zaku's, right? I don't like Zaku's, because this person could be, mentally, I don't know, bad in the head or something. And then eventually you could just jump in and be like, no, Zaku's are awesome. And it just brings up this whole conversation. All of a sudden, you guys were fighting about Zaku's and GMs and stuff.
Eventually, you find something that you both hate together, and now you're best friends. So
Unicorn, yeah, and it works. Like look at
hey.
us, right? So I don't know. I love the community so much, and I'm so glad to see somebody as yourself, along with with your group and those Gundam guys, really kind of advocating for the community, because I'm a really big advocate for the community and not somebody's image of themselves. I'm not.
I mean, and to speak to their credit, they've done the work long before I ever showed up. I'm just here now.
No,
I'm
of
along
course.
for the ride.
No, of course.
I love everything about it.
Yeah, and it's just being able to kind of move that along, which a lot of people, like we talked about yesterday, always ask us, well, hey, how do you guys get to do those events, like the whole building nights and all of that stuff? And it's like, well, it's like yesterday, I think you said it's initiative, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of initiative and making sure that you've got the right crew around you, that if this is something you want to do, if you want to put on these shows and do these programs, or not programs, but connect with your local model shops or build group. I'm sorry, I hear my dogs doing the zoomies upstairs, and this is all I can concentrate on right now. But no, it's just initiative, wanting to do it, putting the effort in, not just being we can do this, we can plan as much as you want. If you're not going to take that first step, then you've achieved nothing.
Yep, you've achieved.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like we said yesterday, by having that core group, that's how you build your Gunpla family.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Any family. It doesn't even just have to be Gunpla. Any community.
Yeah. Right. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like with this community group you have that helps build these events possible. Like you said, it doesn't matter how much you hate each other with certain things. You guys will always come back.
Oh, I hate all of them. They know.
Jess doesn't know this, but yeah, I don't like that guy very much.
No, I don't like Kevin either. But speaking of which, and now going back to all this stuff, we can see some of your kits in this display case. That's got like the big, what is this? The asteroid up top? Is that the one? The
Dendrobium?
Yeah, the Dendrobium.
Up top on the right.
Yeah,
So that's Angels, which he passed off to me to delicately place in this display box, dusty as hell. So this was at the Bandai pop-up shop in Los Angeles, Little Tokyo, that Bandai and Bluefin had done this past summer. Summer? Ooh, wrong. Fall.
Fall, yeah. I was going to say autumn, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a really, really weird 2020.
Yeah, we don't even know what day it is anymore. Yeah.
It's still March to me on 2020 on some days. But no. So yes, a lot of local builders and some of my friends from the East Coast had kits that were displayed here in Los Angeles for this pop-up shop for Bluefin and Bandai. And I was very fortunate to be able to have a couple of my most recent pieces that I'm very proud of there, alongside a lot of my friends' great work that have held up to test of time. They're just great. Dendrobium was so big.
It's so big, dude. Holy God. I'm seriously just sitting here looking at it while I'm looking at your kits and kind of looking at the scale.
No, we were sitting there, we're just like, how is this? We know how it's going to fit, but how do we put it in there? How does this, how are you in geometry? I was okay in geometry. How do you do geometry? Not so good. Okay, so we'll just put this in there and see how this works.
Yeah.
We'll just feel it out.
Who was the master? What's that, Kevin?
Now I'm gonna have to put mine away because I have no idea where I'm gonna place it in my house.
Girl.
Yeah.
You need 3 feet deep at least.
Yep.
If you want to add an angle.
Yep. Who was the masochist who decided to put it all the way on the top shelf?
That was a group effort.
Okay.
Because so these were cases from GBWC which were intended to hold a lot of numbers and they're custom shelves, but you could fit them, move the shelves up and down however you wanted. But we knew that this piece needed to be center. Fine, set, great. So Angel, thank you for giving this to us. Please don't make me pack it again. Thank you.
Very nice. So this pop-up shop, what would you say it was successful?
I would, absolutely. Yeah.
100%.
As a not official Bandai employee, yes, I would say it was very successful. I was up there a lot. I spent a lot of money the first weekend. I'm mad that I did. Thank you.
Okay.
It was. No, it was good, and it it drove a lot of traffic to otherwise low traffic areas during the pandemic. Encouraged people to look at the area there and Little Tokyo come out now that it's at the time places were starting to open up and service. So
So here is where you guys did I'm guessing the workshop for the kids.
This was my first in-person children's workshop, yes, at Orange Con in 2019.
It was way before
Orange Con being Orange County, California. And it was... I'm sorry?
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I was very anxious the night before, but it was phenomenal. There were people lining up before we even got to set up tables. They got wind through Facebook. They're having this kids event. You can come in, and I supplied the mats and the tools, and thankfully USA Gunpla Store had supplied kits from a previous event that we had done at Saboton Con, and I was able to take a couple of those over to this event, and it's a make and take, for lack of a better word. So they could sit there, hang out, build the kit, and then take it home with them. There were obviously, I was picturing more towards younger children, but there was a huge variety. It was a huge age gap, not a huge age gap, but a huge range. And a lot of the older kids were more than happy to help these little kids along. I didn't have to lead anything, honestly, compared to my other workshops. And I got to spend a lot of time talking to parents who were asking these questions. What is the show my kid is into? Does he really need all these tools? Why does he say that I need to buy him these nippers? What are these models that he wants to buy? And it's a good way to connect and have parents ask the questions that they need answers to that obviously their angsty teenager is not going to give them the answers to because mom, it's just my thing. I want to do it.
Yeah, mom.
But it was fun. It was great. That's it being my first workshop. I have a lot of fond memories of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait until we can start doing this.
Yeah.
I miss it. Yeah.
So what I wanted to say earlier is you said this is your very first in person. So then before that, were they all online then, or?
No, the majority of mine were in person. All of mine were in person beforehand, and it only switched to online after COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
When parents were struggling to find ways to fill that time when they were homeschooling their children before a lot of schools had their own online plans developed.
Mm-hmm.
So for a couple of months, I did once a month online workshops where I would actually, if they sign up, I would mail out the kit, and then they just log in the day of that workshop, and we work on that for an hour. One of my favorite sessions where it became a show and tell, where the kids who had previous experiences were showing off kits that they had built before.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I got some really sweet feedback. It was good.
That's so awesome.
I hit all the right notes.
So
real
wholesome.
good that day.
It feels great, especially teaching and giving the tools to people. And something I mentioned in the past to the viewers and to people in the GTS is I used to be a teacher, right? I used to be an ESL teacher for 4 years. So teaching.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. So teaching because my age gap was huge. I used to teach from like 5-year-olds all the way up to like 65-year-olds, right? So I was teaching everything, and it's just that gratification that comes with the look on their faces when they're doing something. Like even like for me, it was language, right? Like when they're reading in English and they're actually understanding what's going on.
It's that light bulb once it clicks.
Yes, it's
once
like,
they understand.
It's like,
all of a sudden, all my math teachers that yelled at me, it paid off and made sense.
Yep, there it is. It's like
look on her face.
Yeah, and it feels so good, doesn't it? So I cannot imagine how you must have felt just seeing, the things that even if you feel like you didn't do much, the fact that you gave these kids something to like. And they're like actually talking about show and tell and like, look, this is what I did. And you're like, yeah, because I was there helping and not because of an ego boost or anything. It's just like, yeah.
No, it's something you think of in the moment, but it's afterwards. And you get the feedback from parents and realizing this thing that happened has made, or in the case of COVID, kids were missing out on these interactions, and they all thrived on having that there in Zoom. It was a different level of just sitting there and being read to.
Yep.
Or having this show and tell to work on things they've done and be able to talk about it and express it to someone that understands it, especially an adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's incomparable.
Yeah. I don't know. That's really cool. I was going to say, so did the parents ever say, so what do I have to buy my child these BMC chisels? Do I have to buy him these perfect grades? Did you ever?
I mean, if the kid is looking at me, I'm going to say yes.
Yes.
But I'll be like, some side cutters will be fine.
Yeah.
Some squadron sanders, rest in peace. But yeah, it's just the reason that I enjoy doing these is because part of the, like I had mentioned earlier, part of the fun is being able to provide these little mats or these child-sized kits with the nippers and the part separators and the files, so they can feel like they're doing the big kid job. They're using the same tools that they see on their show, or that they see from these Twitch or YouTube streams, that they're seeing these world-class builders that are entering competitions do. It setting the mood is half the thing. That's why they play house as children. They're building up this environment and imagination and relating to it in the way that they know how. And for younger children, it's setting the environment.
Yeah.
And just letting them have fun. They love it. They're all gonna have finished harvest at the end of the day. But the important part is that they're having a good time doing it.
Yeah, no, completely understandable. Yeah, no, they definitely won't. But it's just like seeing these kids' faces. I know we keep going over it. Sounds very repetitive, but it's just really it must feel awesome for them to see this stuff go on. So awesome job on that. Definitely something that I want to do later on when everything's opened up again. going to schools and kind of showing younger kids and even middle schools and even high schoolers, because high schoolers are angsty, right? We were all angsty high schoolers at one point, listening to Linkin Park and stuff like that, Evanescence.
Yeah, I'm legally not allowed to talk about mine. Yeah.
No. But no, everything's good. No, it's nice. How about this one? These girls just all of a sudden, are they also a part of like the whole? I think this is Slide.
This was at Saboton Con. So there were a couple older girls that came in. They were cosplaying. They came into the building workshop that we had, and they were having a blast.
Awesome.
So they've never built before either?
I am not sure if they had or not, but I mean, they look like they're having a great time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Who might have not? Yeah.
Damn. It's such a good hobby for all ages, right? To be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And yeah, no, it's just really cool. For me, it's a big stress reliever, which is weird because a lot of people are like, no, that gives me a brain hemorrhage. But with everyone, when you have such a big group together doing this as a class or just a community getting together, everyone just goes. It doesn't matter how shitty your whole day was, but the fact that you're coming together to enjoy something as a group, just the feeling for that is just so good because you just completely forget about everything that happened.
That's your happy hour. That's your happy build hour right there. Yeah.
Sometimes, because look.
Sometimes I want to throw mine against the wall.
Exactly. Also, I'd say because there's this unspoken side. I think it happens to a lot of us, and I'm a victim of it too. Sometimes when you get into the hobby, like when it becomes about you and you wanting to build something amazing, and you keep comparing yourself to all these amazing builders, and sometimes it kind of gets in your head. It gets in your head.
Honestly, that might be your first mistake there.
Yeah, no. Like it definitely is, right? And you forget to have fun with what you're doing, and that's the main part, which is definitely something that I've definitely taken a step back and been like, you know what, I kind of want to just have fun. Yeah, definitely just want to chill. But speaking of chilling and great builders and stuff, let's not pretend like you're not a great builder, because you are. All right, so we have your projects here. Let's talk about this guy right here. This little drawing we have.
Been around the block.
Yeah,
So this is my GBWC entry for Anime NYC back in 2019, pre-COVID. But so a lot of my ideas, if I have one, I jot it down in a sketchbook immediately. This was one that I had. Been a couple nights kind of fleshing it out. I wanted a GM head to be holding up an Akai head from in reminiscence of 08th MS team. Percy is holding the head of Medusa. I wanted Karen's GM head to be going back and claiming her trophy of the Akai that took off her own head in the suit in the show.
Yeah.
That was my inspiration for that.
Okay.
Kind of just.
I know it's really cool. When I was looking at this, I was like, no. It's so cool. Great job with
and
that.
It's all in SDs. SD kits are a guilty pleasure of mine. I love them. They're fun.
Who do we have that's like that? Just love doing SDs.
I think my wife loves SDs, and so does Derek. They just build SDs, but I don't feel they're guilty pleasures because they are genuinely like awesome kits. Like
they're fun with the Sengoku and everything.
Yeah. I mean,
you can do anything with them.
Yeah, even for great practice, you can make awesome things with them. Honestly, nowadays, especially with the cross frames, it's even so cool. It's even more of a reason to get them, right?
There's someone there for this one.
Yeah, definitely. Some awesome. So you said you kind of took this from 08, right? Kind of doing a whole backwards look on it. Would you say that's one of your favorite series of the?
Absolutely, it's up there in the top 3 for sure.
Okay, all right, nice. Because right now, this is kind of a plug, a shameless plug. We have the group build going on over at our Discord. If you're watching and you want to be part of a group build, you guys have till March 15th. If you want to be a part of it, you have to join the Discord. Go in there.
March of what year?
It's of March 15th of this year.
It's already started.
It already started.
It's March 20th. Oh, until or
sorry, May 15th. I'm dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, May 15th. Like, yeah, not backwards. Sorry, May 15th.
Scared me.
But anything in the 1 year war can go in. So you got Thunderbolt, you got '08, you got Igloo, you got all of this stuff that can go into it. So yeah, what's up, Kevin?
Who said 100-year war when we were talking about it?
Who said what?
When we originally started talking about it before it was all launched, who said 100-year war? Was it Tech or Lexi?
I think it was Lexi said 100-year war, and we're just like, bro, that's not. No, that's not, that didn't happen in Gundam.
It's still happening.
It feels like 100 years.
Well, yeah, through all these
So if
series.
you want to join, you can. You're definitely more than welcome.
I'm tempted. I gotta finish something before April 15th, so we'll see. And then after that,
okay, yeah.
I have like 10 days to exist. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. No. It's open up to anybody. If you guys want to join in, definitely go in there and kind of put your name in the place where you have to put your name, so then you can be randomly put into the Fed side or the Xeon side. And
randomly put it? Ooh.
Yeah, it's random. It's random. Right now we have 50 contestants, and it's 25 versus 25. That's the way it is.
I tried to create my own resistance group. He wouldn't let me.
No, you can't.
No,
there's a narrative.
You don't have no living corgi division. You can't do it.
No, there's a narrative. There's a narrative. Even there's a whole story. There's a whole thing planned for the.
I did read a bit of the backstory when you were leading up to the event on Instagram.
Yeah, no, there's a whole narrative and there's a whole plan with videos later on to showcase. There's so many things that we have planned for that. We're gonna make it a really nice thing for the community. But yeah. Anyway, shameless plug. Let's go back to Tax and about her GBWC entry. So of course you are doing some pre-shading up on this guy, right?
Pre-shading on the base. It's a lot of my bases are scratched entirely out of foam.
Mm-hmm.
I love pre-shading. It's one of my favorite things to do for a kit. I had it on the Eka. I had it's blue pre-shading on the GM head because it's a primarily white coated armor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be too stark of a contrast, so I do the blue for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually you see the finished product and what I was working with. I had an LED in the Akai head, and I had an LED in the chest of the Akai body to kind of simulate, a fire or electrical disruption there going on. And it was flickering, so the idea was that the eye is losing power because it has been severed from the head.
Ah, nice. Okay, now I see. Man,
and then I do love that part of me loves the masking tape that I still had on the GM head while I was painting, even though it was painted to a visor on, because it's very Bird Box and just gave it a very aesthetic feel that I loved.
Yeah. And then you took it off.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Yeah, because I was about to say, so that's the masking tape on it, because when I originally saw these pictures, I'm like, it looks like she broke the plastic to make it look cracked. But no, it's masking.
Yep. Oh, that would have been cool too.
Yeah, it's kind of all.
Yeah. I liked it. I can't lie.
So, how did you feel when you took it and you got your runner-up beyond old Gunpla medal that you have?
I did not feel too bad. I won't lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little half in the tank when it happened, but I was very emotional afterwards. Like when all the thing was sitting down in the panel zone, I called my parents. My parents were very happy and proud and excited for me. My dad, did you beat a bunch of boys? I'm like, yeah, Dad, sure. Okay, that's not the point, but thank you. Yes. Okay.
Ah, that's so cute. That's all awesome. I mean, I the whole metal thing, like, I would be proud as fuck to have that. It's just any kind of metal. Yeah. I just like how it's in your shoes. I can see your shoes. It's like...
Oh, no, that whole shelf, or it's like this armoire and bar buffet shelf in my room where it's half shoes and half Gundam-related stuff. Or mech-related stuff. It's my happy medium wall.
Nice. Very nice. This is an awesome piece. And of course, going back to your sketching and the way that you plan things out, we have the next one where you're kind of sketching out this duo. So how did this idea come to be?
So I am a fan of Armor Trooper Votoms, and this was a build that I've been wanting to do for a while because I had gotten the kits after and during seeing the show. So I wanted to create a diorama where these two machines, the British dog, the pink mech, and the scope dog, the green mech, are escaping. It's a recreation of an event that happened in the show. So they're escaping this underground city, Udu, Voodoo, however you want to pronounce it. And it's a retelling of an event in the show.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do was duplicate the background that they have, this paneled line backdrop from the city, and having them just about to face the onslaught they have to face to get out to the top of the city or escape, essentially, now that they've teamed up and realize that they are part of each other's lives.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this is how they have to do it for the rest of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so cool.
My
Yeah,
question.
when we were putting everything together, I was looking at this and like, I don't know where these are from. But
It's Armored Trooper Voltoms. It's a very noir type of show. So where every now and then the main character will dictate what is happening or what has transpired during the show. I feel like it's a staple, honestly, as much as the original Gundam or maybe Macross is. There will be nods from other shows that allude back to this series.
Yeah. No, definitely something to look out for. I wanted to ask you real quick, the texture on the shoulders.
Thank you for asking. So that did not come with it, but what I had talked to a couple friends, and there was a trick tip that was provided where you take Mr. Servicer. Do I have a jar out here? No, Mr. Servicer 500. So it's a little thicker, and you just blot it on to a rounded or curved shape. So then you can kind of either sand it down or leave it as is to create that molded like cast iron shape that you would see on on like a tank hull.
Yeah.
Or if you look at a cast iron skillet, it's that same kind of texture.
Yeah.
that's really cool. Never thought of that. Never ever thought of that.
That
before.
looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like that really
Thank you.
caught my eye.
I wish I could say I was the first person to think of it, but obviously there were plenty of much more qualified builders before me that have lended their knowledge to it, and it's just that one trickled down to me. So
Your shading skills is phenomenal. It's amazing. Appreciating and everything.
thank you. I think there's room for improvement personally, but I am a proponent of learning and trying to do more and kind of work on it every single time.
Yeah, definitely.
But these pieces particularly, I was very happy with how the shading turned out. I think that's when I finally realized like this is what I like to do, the kind of look that I like, and my balance for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is so awesome. I mean, even just seeing the amount of kind of thought. I don't want to say imagination, and I'm not saying it's not imaginative. I'm saying the amount of passion, right? The amount of kind of like love to the detail of the shoulder part, and kind of sticking with the whole narrative of what's going on. And it's not just I'm putting it together just to put it together and it to look nice. You have this whole thing that you already have envisioned thanks to the show, right? Because this is something from the show, like you said. So
yeah. No, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. It helps a lot to be very into what it is that you're working on or recreating. To kind of deviate back for a little bit, I know that a common question is when you're buying a model kit, what should I get? What should I do? It's anything that seems cool to you or something that appeals to you, because it'll make you more excited and more motivated to work on it, finish it, complete it. Maybe even paint it. If you're just snapping together, that's fine. It's okay. But if you are motivated to take it to the next level, it helps a lot if it is something that you're already passionate about or that you are a part of the fandom for, and just want to do the best job that you can to honor it, for lack of a better word.
No, that's kind of like a tribute. That's basically it, right?
Yes.
And go ahead, Kevin. No, go ahead, Kevin.
I was gonna say, with everything you've done up until now, like amazing work and everything, what is the next thing you want to do to level up? What's the next skill you want to take on?
I'd like to finish a kit within the same month I started. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'm slow. I am a slow builder. My New Year's resolution to myself was to be able to snap kits together faster. I lasted about 2 months. But for me personally, it's funny you mentioned it. This is something I was thinking about a lot this week. Is that I have a lot of ideas and things that I want to do, but I have the attention span of a goldfish when it comes to my builds. Like if I am not motivated enough or if it doesn't do something for me, I will drag it out as long as possible. So I have to learn how to work to strike when the iron is hot. That is
Yeah.
something that I want to be able to do more and more efficiently.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad you
I
mentioned
want
that.
to capitalize on on my inspiration and motivation. That's what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, because it even kind of goes back to the same thought process again, of people who, like some people who don't like to clean a lot, for example, right? Like they're not the person who likes to spend all day cleaning, but it's kind of that thought process of if you can just do something for 5 minutes and capitalize on that motivation that, you're just sitting here like, you know what? I got to go wash the dishes. I feel like I can do them right now.
This sparks joy for 5
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
I got it.
yeah. It's kind of that idea, but no, I definitely get it, and it's now with your snap building and everything. Why exactly are you just snap building and leaving them up on the shelf?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, not leaving off the shelf. Like I have them snap built, and I have all these ideas that I'm going to do it for it, or that I'm going to do for it, and then I just like, the window's closed. I've lost the motivation for it,
It's gone. Yeah.
and then I'll get as far as maybe say priming
Yeah.
a kit, and it'll sit on the rack for months before I finish it.
God. No, that's I mean, I can't be one to speak, but look, there's nothing wrong with being slow either. There isn't anything wrong with it, right? Like there are people who like churn these things out all the time. I don't know how to do it. There has to be some sort of burnout.
I don't know either, but I want to call it burnout. I mean, burnout is a catch-all. For me, I understand now it's a lack of motivation or inspiration for it. So it may be a great idea right then and right there, but then maybe it's my own impatience where if I can't get that out to the point where I want it to be at, then what's the point in investing any time in it at all?
It's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, that's I feel the same way. I completely understand it, and it's really cool that you say that because definitely something that we have to work on. Because yeah,
It might be more of realizing expectations and limitations of yourself. Yes.
no, yeah. I think one of the things that I've done to kind of help me stay, because I don't buy, look, one, I'm not rich. So two, I don't buy all the kits that I see, but I only buy kits that I really like. I don't buy kits just to buy kits. I'm not knocking on people who do.
I'm still working on that.
I'm knocking
Every
on
now and
people
then
who do.
I can build a case and enable it for myself on a kit that I want and that I
Yeah.
think means a lot to me.
Yeah, so you're just kind of
And then
like,
half the time I'm like, I bought it and I never think of it ever again.
you convince yourself to do it, and then you're like, well, now I have it. There it is. There's the end of it. Yeah.
Now
no.
I never gotta think about it again,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Right? That's how it works.
That's
right?
how Bandai gets you. That's what. So whenever you talk to these, parents, did you ever tell them that their kids were getting into plastic crack?
No, I do my very best to make sure that I steer away from any words like that.
Like, yeah,
Unless you know that the parent is already a modeler and they're like, oh, congratulations, you introduced your kid to plastic crack.
Yep.
You're a great parent.
Yep.
It's a gold star for the day.
Yeah. No, definitely something to think about. But no, but awesome work on this. Like I said, I even like the little gunfire things that you did, like on the concrete, because this is supposed to be concrete or like metal sheet.
The idea is that it's gunshots from the opposing army that they are getting ready to rock stock and rock out to.
Yeah. Oh, it's such
and just fight their way out. Yeah.
It's an attention to detail is amazing. But then all of a sudden we jump into this work in progress of the pre-shading with blue, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have the little.
That's my go-to when I have anything that's gonna be in white. I will appreciate the blue.
I'm seeing this now. Like you said, it's because you don't want the contrast to be so jarring, right?
I mean, jarring, yes, but for my personal taste, I don't want the contrast to be so high. I've learned that I like it more subtle the more that I've spent time painting.
Okay, so that's why we have the blue. And then we have the little pilot. You painted a little pilot.
Yes, I chiseled down an Amuro pilot
Yeah.
to take on the shape and silhouette of a female pilot, which resonates with the theme of the suit, which is a Gun-EZ from Victory Gundam, which is the Gun-EZs were all piloted by female pilots for the Shrike team, which is what I was representing here with my build for the prototype Gun-EZ.
Was the base also custom made?
The base was all handmade, yes.
Man.
So I cut it from foam and hand painted it.
Damn,
Most of it. I spray painted the pink because I was not going to do that by hand. Absolutely not whatsoever. No.
Man, you're just kind of dipping your hands on all these things. This is awesome. Then you have.
Well, thankfully, I have a lot. I have access to a couple resources and some great friends that I can tap into and pick their minds at. And
Yeah.
if I have an idea, I know who to ask and how do I got to make it. How to make it happen.
Yeah. So this is the one that you entered into the competition for Bluefin, right?
And we were Brian and I, Bro Builder and I, were invited to enter some pieces into it, the Gundam Online Expo. So these are so my piece was what I had entered for the Gun-EZ, and I was very thankful that they gave me the opportunity to. And thankfully, Brian and I were able to walk away hand in hand as a winner in our division.
Respective categories?
Respective categories, yes.
Yeah. There you go.
That's the word.
So I have a quick question about the base itself. Sorry, my mic was muted because the dogs were playing. And then,
Been there. That's fine.
So the details around the bird and everything, is it all scribed in then?
You mean on the top plane?
The top plane, yeah.
Yes. So I had mocked out the shape of the Shrike emblem, the Shrike team emblem, which is the Shrike bird holding this red ribbon that the girls wear around their arm.
Yeah.
So what I did is I printed it out and then embossed it, traced it over with a pen onto the foam, so that I could have these details for the outlines before I started hand painting and everything. So I was creating an outline so I could color within the lines, very coloring book style when I was hand painting.
Okay, that's so cool. Yeah.
It's really awesome. And then, of course, then we have over here Armita Pevdani. Is that what it was called?
It's my maiden name. Yes.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
That's me. That's just me.
Right.
Add me on LinkedIn. Find me on Facebook.
There we go.
I won't know you. It's fine.
There we go. So this is it. This is when they announced it, right?
It was a little surreal hearing Kawaguchi say my full name. Yes.
Yeah. Wait, did I butcher your name?
Honestly, I don't know when I learned to spell my own name. So we're on par
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, so surreal.
You got it. You're fine.
Guess it's pretty good at butchering names. So.
Oh, so we have so surreal, right? Like even just seeing him say your name and like you won, must have been you must have felt. I don't know. I mean, like you said, surreal. I think is the only way to really say because you were like excited. Maybe you didn't believe it at first, and it's kind of like
No. I mean, I was just happy to be brainstorming and kicking in and talking about my build with Brian, and then find out that we both won the respective categories, and hearing Kawaguchi, who is normally the final say in anything for GWC, talk about your kit and for me the lore behind it, because obviously now I know, not that I didn't know before, but it's obvious that he knows his shit. So he was more than happy to express that with my build, and knowing that it was because it's Victory, because it was this all-female team, and that it came through in the presentation and with my figure that I had carved and everything.
Yeah.
It felt... The Senpai noticed me. The acknowledgement is nice.
Yeah.
What the fuck else am I supposed to say?
Yeah, that's really about it. Yeah. And I love what he says. It's the composition of the model suit, figure, and basic suits. I love that word, exudes strong sense of character. Demonstrate.
I
want to
know where he learned that word. Yep.
Yeah. He learned it from The Office. I don't know if you've ever seen The Office, where it's like the man exudes sex.
It's come and go. My favorite bit is where they're talking to each other in Morse code to fuck with Dwight.
Yeah, with the fucking and then they do it with the eyes when he puts on the things. He's like this.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, each component shows attention to detail and undeniable technique. I hope you continue to enjoy making various models. So there you go, from the man himself.
Deep. That's so cool.
From the man himself.
So it's a
So
way to put some pressure on somebody. Yeah.
yeah, but regarding your projects, like you said, you're working on something you have to finish before the 15th.
Of April?
Yes, right?
Yes. So a buddy of mine, Danny Gunpla on Instagram, he hosts a yearly resin building contest. And the first
Ooh.
one that I entered last year was with a very old ass kit from like the 90s from Virtual On, this mech video
Virtual
game.
On.
Yeah! Oh, I love it when somebody's like, "Oh, that game."
Hey.
Yeah, that
Oh,
yeah,
Virtual
that
On.
kid almost ruined my life last year, honestly. But
Have you
I've
played?
have I played that? I used to own a cabinet. Yes.
No way.
Yeah, I unfortunately had to sell it because I had moved out from my parents' place at the time, and I did not have the time or willingness to invest the money into restoring it.
Mm-hmm.
But I found it a great home, and I hope it's very happy wherever it is.
So
But it's fun. I love it. I love the game. I love that series. I love the mech designs. I'm still hunting down kits. But the point is that by the 15th, I have to finish my resin kit for this year for that build off, which is a Volks resin kit of Morrigan from Darkstalkers. So the
Yes.
girl with the teal hair and the bat wings.
Mm-hmm.
So she's almost ready. I've been saying that for like months now. I have to putty her and put some primer on her. But that is my next build for this month.
So you
Okay.
have
I'll probably crap out in like 2 weeks, honestly.
yeah, like 19
We'll see.
days. Like holy fuck.
I've done worse. That Gun Easy, they made me do that in like 10 days.
Oh god.
Jeez.
You got this, Tex. It's okay. You got
Yeah.
this.
You got this.
So, now that we're kind of like, of course, like, we said you're looking at other projects and you're about to do your Resin one. I guess one of my last questions, going back to community, before everything, because I think this is our last slides, is where do you see the community heading? Like, like direction wise, what do you want to see? Where do you see it heading? Are you happy with the way things are moving?
It's difficult to say only because of the conditions that we've been dealt with COVID and this pandemic. I think a lot of us are very much looking forward to getting back to in-person events. And I don't think it won't be so much as, the kits and the placement and who's in like the competition status and GBWC and whatnot. I think a lot of it's just going to be reconnecting and getting to hang out with the community or other people in the community and getting more in touch with everybody now that we know how integrated we are and how much we miss each other and that interaction, and just seeing what we can do to kind of help each other and support each other.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I know everyone within our community, especially, they are all kind of eager to get back to seeing each other face to face and not being 6 feet apart from each other.
Yeah, everyone says like, "Oh, I can't wait for IPMS or like competition shows," but really, you can't wait to hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
Which I understand completely. It's just, all of this, the Gunpla, the scale modeling, it's a common denominator.
Yeah, definitely bringing people together all the time. Bandai did something awesome with Sunrise and creating these kits, and look at all that has stemmed from it.
Look at all those unicorns we got out of it. Yes, thank
No.
you. I'm very pleased.
Don't say it. No, but I can't wait to see what you're gonna do with your Resin, of course. Once you finish it, definitely, I'm sure you're gonna take millions of pictures of it and post it everywhere.
If I finish it, yeah.
If you
I'll
finish
finish it, yeah. I mean, I already know. I know what I got to do. Like, I've been mapping it out for months. It's just a matter of, like I said, the motivation now that my last project is done. Now I'm just like, this is it, gung ho for the next 16 days.
Yeah,
Done.
well, and that's not even putting into account like every other aspect of life, right? Because life, unfortunately, isn't all Gunpla. There's so many things that will add on to your, no motivation days, and it's just, yeah, it's a constant battle, a constant war. But hey, you know, you have the whole community behind you, your friends, and we can't wait to see what you're gonna bring out. But with that being said, guys, if you guys are watching, this Monday we have the HWS RG and UP Bandai expansion set in review, which will be coming out, reviewed by me. And then the week following, we have, the next Monday we have, I'm pretty sure, the Bond doc, the HG Bond doc, which is reviewed by Sean. But with that being said,
Bond doc.
Yes, keep it.
I love that kit. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
I've seen it. I don't have it, but I enjoy Zeta and all of that. But it's
a big kit.
A piece.
Big kit.
It's a big kit. It's well, I mean, Sean did it, but he says it's an. I'm not gonna say it. Like I said, the review will be out. Okay, it is a big kit. That'll be not this Monday, but next Monday. But yeah, this Monday we have the HWS. I know it's been covered before, but it's been covered by us this time around by our beautiful friends over there at Gunpla Hangar, who sent it to be reviewed. So with that being said, remember also to follow us on our social media pages if you want to. Something's going on with like the slides today. They're weird. I don't know if anybody can see like the glitches that I can see. Maybe it's just me on my screen. Anyway, I don't think I'm looking at like something that's going on, technical difficulties. But anyway, social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, that's what we have. And of course our Patreon. If you feel like, you know, helping us out with $3 a month, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. And yeah, that's about it. Any remaining words, Tex, for the people out there?
I mean, I had just spoken about Danny Gunpla's resin build off, so if you haven't entered, you've got time. Also, those Gunpla guys are going to be doing a stimulus van tour up here in California, where we're going to a couple of our local hobby shops once a month or once every 2 weeks to just kind of talk about what we do, how we're doing.
Yeah.
Or not how we're doing, but how we're doing. But what we do, what we buy at these local shops, all these smaller hobby local shops that we shop at, especially here in California, since we are not going to be able to hold SCGMC this year. That was kind of decided for us. Thank you, COVID. But I mean, hit them up at those Gunpla guys on Instagram, and the Warped Van Tour is up there. We got a flyer and everything. So
awesome.
Just keep it up.
Hit up Cali.
What's up?
We're gonna have to hit up Cali.
California, yeah, dude. I'm gonna go visit Otaku Builder James. Gonna go visit Tex if she accepts us, and she doesn't think we're weird. She's like, well, maybe I'll hang out with you guys for a beer or something.
Honey, the rest of this crew, this is nothing. I got that. Whatever you want. You want in and out? I'll help you.
So many places we need to go. I want to go to Australia, to be honed, because I want to meet up with...
I do. I want to go to their GBWC. Yeah. It's so bad.
When I go to Australia, I'm going to be like, Saint, can you please come out? Joshua Dara, Ghost of Xeon, just everything. Speaking of Saintism, I'm repping his Saku shirt that he sent over to me.
I was going to say, I saw that on you when we started. Saintism was one of the first people I started watching when I was like lurking in Gunpla and following for techniques. So it's...
No, Saint is... He always says...
I adore his work entirely.
He's like, no, I will always remember the day that I met him on camera on the Thursday, because when we had him on the show season 1. And he's like, dude, I'm just a regular guy. I'm like, nah, dude. Like, I fucking love your work, all right? You're like one of my heroes when it comes to this fucking hobby. So, but anyway, Dang Dang says, where is this resin build off? Can you post this on the Discord for me to enter?
Well, I'll get you a link. Yes.
Yeah, just post it wherever you want. Don't worry about it. And with that being said, Kevin, you want to say anything else, man?
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, Tex. It's been a great opportunity hearing your stories and the community. It's great because I'm sure everybody would love to know how communities are built around each other, what we need to do to have such a strong team and family so we can all move forward and level up and be able to host events like this, like what you guys do for everyone. Guys! Shh. Sorry. Guys.
It's okay. It's okay. They know. It's okay.
Yeah, no, but yeah, definitely, Tex. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Tex.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. Maple and syrup. You do you in the back.
We both actually literally stopped and looked up.
They heard her.
I am the alpha. No, it's
But anyway, with that being said, guys, we will see you guys next week. We have Meg joining us, a.k.a. Vandro.
Hey, I know that bitch.
Now, next week's show is going to be rated R. Just hope you guys know that. Keeping you guys in the loop there. We're going to be talking about a lot of weird shit. So, with that being said, stick around for that. But then again, Tex, so much. Thank you so much for being here. And we will see you guys on the next one.
It's my pleasure. Have fun. Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.